the champagne. Not really, but we got another dub, baby. Victory Monday, first of the season, the first true victory Monday of the season, because our first victory came on a Thursday, so we took Victory Friday, which we'll be getting another one of those soon.
Coming to you soon.
What is going on, my man Nick? Ready to talk a little Lions Falcons?
Yeah. What's going on? Nothing going on. Had a golf scramble out in Eagle Eye in East Lansing yesterday.
Ooh, nice golf course.
Yeah, it is a real nice golf course. I lived out there for like 10 years, never went golfing there. Always a little too rich for my blood. So got a chance to play in a scramble yesterday with 3 very good friends, and we were terrible, but it was super fun and a ton of free beer. And they auctioned off some guns. I didn't win, but it was a pretty big event, so it was really cool. Today, I got softball at 8:30 tonight. We're recording right now at 5:45 almost, so a few hours I'll be playing softball. It looks like the rain should stop, so it's going great over here, honestly. And I'm just going to talk a bunch because when I kick it back to you, I'm going to repost all of our social medias real quick, so you're just going to see me staring at my phone for a quick minute.
Great. Love it. What up, Peter? Glad to have you in the chat, as to Travis and anyone else that's listening. But this was a solid victory for the Lions. We're just going to dive right into it. No Julius, obviously, still in Germany, as he will be for a couple years or quite some time. But we'll work through it. We got the Nick Julius. That go pretty smooth that morning.
That did not go smooth. That was terrible. I was extremely hungover. Couldn't even think of any words I wanted to say. My internet kept freezing out because I was at my buddy's house and it just wasn't working. Literally, we just ended the show after like 12 minutes. We were just like, this is terrible. I can't even think right now. It was god awful. I didn't even post it on Spotify. I was just like, just let this one linger in the internet.
Excellent. See, everyone, they're nothing without me. They can't do the show.
We need you, bro.
No. But yeah, I thought I would be able to make it, and then Notre Dame freaking ripped my heart out and costed me some money. But thankfully, I won it back on some Jared Goff props and some Lion victories. But ultimately, Lions, we're back, baby. We are 2-1 heading into Thursday Night Football, which is where we wanted to be. I was listening to a little 97.1 today on my way home. Lenny was saying this game, it will show if the Lions are, or this is the team's the real deal. We're going to win the North, or we're not quite there yet. Because if we lose the Packers, that's going to be tough. That's going to be telling me that we are going to have to fight for this NFC North. The Packers are a little better than I expected. Granted, it is a tough environment in Lambeau Field, but we just whooped their ass week 18. So we should be able to do it again. Kirby Joseph will be returning home, so hopefully he'll be healthy and practicing. Actually, speaking of that, we'll get to the practice report in a minute. But I think the Lions can have a nice kind of prove-it game, because I do believe this Falcons game was a little softball-type cupcake game where a lot of Lions fans and a lot of, smart NFL fans kind of knew if the Lions were on their game and looking like how they did against the Chiefs, there's no way Atlanta will be able to win. Bijan couldn't do anything, and that's how we made it work.
Yes, it is. And we are going to lock down Jordan Love. Jordan Love is not like that good. They won 18-17 against the Saints. And we're down 17-0 in the third. And it wasn't until Derek Carr literally had to go to the hospital just for the Packers to be able to win this game. Their only win is against the trash. I can't even describe how bad the Bears are. And that's their only win. That's it. So I'm not nervous about Green Bay at all. I don't care if it's in Lambeau. I don't care where it's at. We're taking down this division. If you have an opportunity to bet Lions win all 6 games in the division this year, take it right now. This isn't a fan biasy. This is literally, unless something crazy happens, which things can in the division, we have the better team. And there's no reason for us not to smoke everyone. So I'm excited for this Green Bay game. Thursday, it's going to be great.
It's crazy, man. The Bears 0-3. I mean, a lot of people kind of could have guessed that, but the Vikings 0-3, all 1-score games. It's like a little taste your own medicine. It's
we knew
not
that was the case. We knew that was the case when they went 11-0 in one-score games last year. How many times did we say on this show over and over and over? That's an anomaly. That will never. It's never happened, and it will never happen again. Like, that was such a weird season. Good for Minnesota. You didn't do anything in the playoffs. You got home field advantage and let your fans down. Let Detroit come in, or not let Detroit, but here comes Detroit now, going to do the same thing, but not let the fans down and going to win the first round and more. And I'm very excited. The Vikings are a good team. I honestly think they're the second best team in the division. I think they're better than the Packers, and they'll beat the Packers both times they play. I just don't think they're going to have the luck on their side. I think all teams outside the Lions in our division finished with 7 or less wins. I would be shocked to see Green Bay win more than 6, honestly.
That's exactly what I said. I tweeted out, I said the Bears are awful. The Vikings can't, win their one-score games now. And the Packers are a 6-win team at max. And it's what it's looking like. And don't get me wrong, the Packers or the Lions could win this division going 8-9, 9-8, squeaking in, making it look gross and grindy. And that's why this Thursday night game is going to be pretty important, because it's in Lambeau. It's the first divisional matchup we have. We've kind of seen that the Vikings are falling out of it fast. I'm not going to count them completely out, because they do have, Justin Jefferson, a good offense, right, and Hutchinson and whatnot. Daniel Hunter, defensive end, who's sack master, performed very well. But it's just, I need to see us beat the Packers first, and then we will be in that next step. We'll be in the driver's seat. You're going to see the Lions are right now plus 100, even money to win the division. If we beat the Packers, they're going to jump to like minus 300. It's going to swing hard, swing fast. So get your bets down now.
Put your mortgages down right now. You have 2 houses at the end of the year.
Lions practice today. We had a few. It looked a lot better than last week. We had limited practice for Jason Kabinda, who's a little banged up. Taylor Decker, limited practice, was nice. Jonah Jackson, limited practice, which didn't want to see him on the injury report. Kirby Joseph, limited practice. David Montgomery, limited practice. And Emmanuel Mosley, limited practice. So this has got me thinking. I think Dan Campbell was thinking, our backups are better than some of these Falcons starters, and we could probably win this game with sitting Decker, sitting Kirby Joseph, sitting Montgomery, sitting Mosley even. And if that was the case, and those guys are coming back for Thursday night football, oh my gosh. If those guys in our lineup right now, the spread would be so much different. I think it's the Lions favored by a point and a half right now. It's really, really tight. But it's based off of the injuries right now. Granted, Packers are dealing with Christian Watson, their star wide receiver, who hasn't played at all. He might play, maybe not, but I would not expect it on a Thursday night game. I would bet they would try to give him that extra, double week. So
now Watson hasn't played all year, right?
Yeah.
Now
if he does,
I'm sorry.
Even if he does play, it'll be his first game. So it'll
be the first game. Well, I mean, that can go either big hit or miss, but. Did Aaron Jones play last week?
He did not. He's dealing with a hamstring injury too. I think he had limited practice today, though. So he's
not that I'm worried about their running backs, right? Like we have shown, and I've said it countless times, we'll continuously say it, and almost predicted another prediction correct.
I know.
Almost
I saw that. Nick, this is 3 weeks in a row. So fans, I'll just say it for you, Nick. Nick, week 1. On his own account, not, just blasting off 5 different, Nick Faber 1, Nick Faber 2, Honolulu Blues 1, all this crap. This was Nick's actual account. He tweeted the legit score of the Chiefs-Lions game. The next week calls out for, didn't get it exactly right, but you called Josh Reynolds breakout. You said he's going for a touchdown, 115 yards, going to ball out. If you put that into fantasy numbers, it's pretty close to what he did. 2 touchdowns, 88 yards, breakout season. And now this week, what did you do, Nick?
I put out a tweet under the Honolulu Blues, just said, we all saw that really cool camera angle of Bijan Robinson doing his jukes against Green Bay. And it's a good video. So it's like, okay, we'll put it up here. How many total yards will Bijan Robinson have at the end of the game? And we saw comments of like 100, 150, take the over a 69, whatever you do, this, that, everything was over. I threw out 61. And for anyone who doesn't remember, he finished with 37 rushing yards, 23 receiving yards, 60 combined yards. I was off by 1 yard, but I knew that we were going to hold them. Just like I know we'll bring this all the way back around, that we'll hold A.J. Dillon or Aaron Jones or both, send anyone and everyone. Bugs played well. We were without some of our like, you know, very talented defensive players. James Houston's out for a while. This is the first game without both of our safeties, Kirby and CJ. We had to do something, and we stepped up big, and that gives me so much excitement for the rest of the year and teams that think they can run on us. And I've tried to tell every fantasy fanalist or expert out there, don't play your running backs versus Detroit. Don't do it. Do not. I don't care. Literally, it would have to be like Christian McCaffrey and Austin. Like when we play Austin Eckler, I would probably keep him in. But other than that, there isn't a team on our schedule. Rashad White, Gus Edwards, like, you know.
What about Justin Fields? Would you keep him as running back?
Actually, maybe he does run. He does run pretty well against. If you got a fantasy league where you can insert him at running back position, then you might be good to go. He's not going to be starting for the Packers by the time we play him. I bet you any money.
Bears.
Right now, Justin Fields will not be starting when we play the Bears.
Yeah.
It's going to be that dude. Who's that backup they got? He's like undrafted or whatever. They love him. They're calling him the next Tom Brady. I don't remember his name.
Oh, Tyler Bennett, I think, or something.
Is that right? I don't know. Even if I heard the name, I don't know if I'll remember it. But I'm saying the Bears. I kind of
vaguely know who you're talking about, but either way.
How long can they keep that leash? Justin Fields has the worst winning percentage of all time in the NFL for like with like at least like 16 starts or something like that. Like,
and he's to the point where, little side tangent, he's on like Eric Ebron status of like how thin of a leash he has with the fans. It's like if he throws one interception, game over, buddy. The fans are booing you. Every incompletion, every time you do something wrong, that's not even your mistake. It's because of this, you know, past buildup and stuff that we've seen dealt Eric Ebron. You know, anytime there'd be a one-handed back of his shoulder end zone catch, Ebron would drop and Pete fans would be, boo, how can you not? Yeah, just going off on him. But then he would, you know, drop the easy little ones that hit him smack down his hands. But
I'm not one to stick up for Bears fans at all. But I would say Justin Fields deserves the boos. I don't think Ebron did. I know he had a lot of bad drops, but like I get what you're saying. But I actually do think that Fields deserves these. He sucks. He is bad. He is bad. Like I know the whole situation in Chicago is not good, but he is really bad. Like he is really, really, really bad. I would think that. Given, like, if you gave Taylor Heineke the Chicago Bears keys, I bet he wins more games than Justin Fields does. Like that, like he's not good. Justin Fields is not good. But we're not here to talk about the Bears. They're trash anyway.
Absolutely. So we went through the injury report. Looks like we're getting back some guys, hopefully. If we get back 2 of those guys. Actually, I'll ask you this question, Nick. Out of Decker, Kirby Joseph, Montgomery, and Emmanuel Mosley, pick 2 to play and 2 that won't play. What 2 would you take?
Do I want or do I think? First off, because I think there's gonna be different
both, I guess.
All right, real quick. I guess what I want is Montgomery to play for my fantasy team. I want him back and fully healthy. And Decker, who I think plays. Decker and. God, it's hard. It's between Kirby and Mosley, and I would probably say Kirby has a better chance to play than Mosley. But honestly, our safeties were great, and Iffy played fucking phenomenal, and Tracy Walker was a beast, just like he was, and we heard all this time about how he's going to use this as motivation, and he did, and our secondary, our backup secondary is better than 30 other team starters, in my opinion, and you can't tell me I'm wrong, because I won't listen. So I truly believe like if Kirby needs to sit out another week, dude, great. Let him. Good. Like I love Kirby and I want him back, but that's the least of my worries. I know Jacobs is getting a lot of heat. I'm not ready to give up on old JJ on the old seatbelt game.
He had a solid bounce back game. He had 7 solo tackles, played decent, a couple bad passes, but
no touchdowns. Locked it down when he needed to. You know what I mean? Like, and it helps that Ritter is a terrible quarterback in its own right. I'm not ready to give up on Jerry Jacobs. As in, I'm not rushing Mosley back. If Mosley wants to come and be better than Jerry Jacobs, great. That's wonderful. I don't care about, like, I like Jacobs, but I'll just take whoever's better. But I'm not rushing Mosley back because I still believe in Jacobs, and I don't think that Jaden Reed, if Watson doesn't play, I don't think Jaden Reed is going to have a hell of a day with Jordan Love against Jerry Jacobs. Like, I know Sutton will lock down Dubs, and it's going to be Luke Musgrave and
yeah,
I just said his name, but I can't remember. Jaden Reed, Michigan State boy. Dog.
yep.
Dog. That's the funniest.
I definitely agree with that. We did see, our boy backups stepped it up big time. Iffy, he was making some big plays. He was just
he was not iffy, you know. He was not iffy at all.
He had nice tackle for loss, pass deflection. He was playing very, very well. And we'll jump right into the Jahmyr Gibbs whole situation, because I know there's tons of fans that are like, oh man, it's weird what we're doing with him. We're giving him more touches. He had 17 carries, 80 yards, 4.7 average. It's pretty good. But ultimately, every one of his carries, at least like 80%, were right up the middle, or up like the 2-hole or the 4-hole or the A gap or the B gap or whatever. And he's just a guy that we just got to get in space. Like, give him some. He didn't have one pitch pass, not one, maybe one like stretch play. It was just like up the middle or just like kind of power runs. And we saw what Devon Achane just did to Denver. They gave him, put him in space. I saw a tweet today. They compared the routes, every touch that Achane had between Gibbs, and Achane's thing is just like he's all over the place, running wheel routes, getting in space everywhere. And Gibbs is just like up the middle, up the middle, up the middle, up the middle. And it's like, what are we doing here? I get, if we find the hole and he breaks it up the middle, like he's gone. But that doesn't happen every time. I'd rather give him space, let him, be able to break. If he could break 3 guys' ankles, that's a touchdown. Or it's like he just finds the hole up the middle, that's a touchdown. And sometimes I'm more confident he could just make the moves and get the touchdown than having the open hole, which I think that's what Dan Campbell is like. No, our offensive line's the best in the league. We will blow open a hole and he'll just hit it hard.
I agree with that last part. I agree with you both. Like, I do. I understand what everyone's saying, and I understand this is so hard because as fans, we have the right to be a little upset that we're not using Gibbs like that, because he's our 12th pick and he's the fastest dude and this and that. And we want to see him just explode. And we want to see him be Devon Achane and Bijan Robinson. We want to see that. And we deserve that as fans. We deserve that. We did something quite bold that most NFL teams would not have done, it seems like. But that's okay. That's fair. But I really don't know, right? Like, we don't know. We don't know why we're running them like that. But what I think is that our offense is not built for those outside plays. You saw what DeAndre Swift did last year. It wasn't that successful. I'm not saying that Gibbs is Swift or Swift is better than Gibbs, or I'm not even saying that Gibbs is better than Swift right now. I honestly won't say that. But what I will say is that our offense is better when we run the ball with Jamal Williams or David Montgomery up the middle 5-6 yards at a time. That's just how our offense works. That's how we matriculate down the field, and that's what we did against Atlanta. In a grit game, we had to just get first downs. We couldn't get these chunk plays right now. I think maybe having Jameson can maybe push back safeties and corners, giving more cushion than – I know Khalif's fast, but more than Khalif and Reynolds. So maybe that opens up some of these pitch plays. Maybe when we have a true dive back and a scat back like we do when Montgomery's healthy, Montgomery can do the up the middle and we can get Gibbs on the outside in those pitches. But I think with the way that we wanted to use Gibbs yesterday wasn't the way that the fans wanted us to use Gibbs. And to see him like this speedster out of the backfield, we wanted to use him like he was Jamal Williams, like he was David Montgomery, like the way we know how to win and that our offensive line knows how to win, especially when we get deeper into it with guys like Dan Skipper and after he went down, who came in for him? Colby Sorsdale. Like, we were deep, like we weren't. I just think those plays require more starting offensive linemen that are in chemistry, that know how to run out on the edges and help out. And I think that the Lions win and know how to win with having a running back that can go up the middle, just to reiterate everything I said. So that is why I specifically think that that's how Gibbs was used, because we aren't the Dolphins and we don't need to play like the Dolphins. We don't need to put up 70 points. We would all love it as fans, but we don't need to. So we just stuck to the game plan that we know how to use, even with its Gibbs, and it worked. It didn't work great. It wasn't amazing for Gibbs, but it's not a Gibbs win. This is a Lions win. We had to win the way we knew how to win. I know it's long-winded, but I truly do believe.
No, that's exactly right. I'm pretty spot on with you there. And I another quick thought popped in my head about Gibbs. We kind of saw what Ben Johnson did towards the last 8 games. He really opened up his bag. And Swift wasn't playing as much, but damn, he was effective. There was lots of just trickery. We saw the biggest one that comes to everyone's head, or at least mine, was that little like pitch read option. Or maybe it was like Amon-Ra screen passed and he hook and lateral back to Swift. And if you do that with Gibbs on like a game where we're playing the Ravens and we just have to get a big play or something, that's what makes, big wins or turns losses into wins essentially. And part of me is kind of thinking maybe that's what Ben Johnson's doing. Maybe we're just kind of letting Gibbs get his feet under himself, feeling like it's what it's like to be in the NFL, take the hits, let him see what's up the middle. And you're right, Nick, we didn't have Montgomery this game. So we kind of just had to put Gibbs into the Montgomery role and maybe give him a little bit extra. We did, throw him 2 passes, which I would like to see a little more. Just, some trickery over the middle, slants, whatever. Line him up outside. But
a couple things real quick on that. There's a thing in poker called a slow roll, right? You slow roll and say, like, we're playing chess. You're 100% right. We're playing chess. This is an 18-week long chess game. You cannot show everything right now. I know we want to see Gibbs, but I can almost assure you that Ben Johnson is better than what you think he is. Not you, but like what the fans think he is with Gibbs. He knows what he's doing, and he will let him off the leash at one point. I just don't think it's going to be before like week 8 or 9. I truly don't. And I think you're right. That like Ravens game, that'll be like when we really start to unleash things. We got Chargers like right after or right before. Like a lot of some good teams kind of loaded right up there. And the Cowboys, and like this is where we're gonna start to see a lot more of it. And then a second thing to say on that, I cannot remember. Shoot, what was the? I don't remember. Dang it! I had a good thing to go on about, but we'll leave the beat. Go on, Adam.
No, yes, what we've been saying about Gibbs, I'm pretty sure it's quite spot on. And yeah, Ben Johnson. If you think about all these trick plays he's ran, have any come against, the Panthers, the Falcons, the Bears? No, he doesn't do this stuff against these terrible teams. It's the Packers, the Seahawks, the Chiefs, games we need to win with, a little extra stuff. So I like it. I do think Ben Johnson still has some tricks up his sleeve. Jared Goff, he played a great game. He did have another interception, but it came after he got absolutely rocked into the turf. He did look a little, out of it. And his next couple drives, he was not great. And it wasn't until like the 4th quarter where he had that little nice option play, beautiful play call. He just walked into the end zone, which I think we should definitely use that again, because Monty just going up the middle will just get so strong and so attached to defenses that we could just pull it for a nice 2-yard touchdown run. So don't be surprised if we see that again. So Goff played a great game, but honestly, what I think won this game are rookies, man. We had some dogs step up, and I'm going to talk about, there was 2, Laporta and Branch balled out. I think Branch just slightly had the bigger performance, was just all over the field, really stepped it up, said, hey, if we're down some starters, you got another one in me, because I'm a starter. I could start on any NFL team right now. Just so happened to be the 3rd safety for the Lions. But now he's a starter with CJ down. Branch, 11 solo tackles, 3 tackles for losses as a safety. That's some Troy Polamalu shit. 2 pass deflections. He is just all over the place. And now he is currently 4th for defensive rookie of the year. So
And Sauce Gardner opened it up for defensive backs to start winning. I think we're going to start seeing more of that.
That's true, too.
Sam Laporta, man. There was one catch he made. I think it was in the first quarter. He catches this ball, and it was like 3rd and 14 or something. 3rd and 13.
Yeah, it was a long conversion.
And he catches the ball in comparison with like 4 yards to go before the first down. Some guy wraps up on him. Another guy wraps up on him. And a third guy wraps up on him. He gets a nice little tush push from the behind and forces his ass over the first down line. He then was resulted in the same touchdown that we threw to Jamison Williams to get him his first career touchdown. Pretty much the exact same play, wide open, just like Jamo was. Sam Laporta. How many times have I talked about how Goff needs years, at least like 8 weeks, to get in sync with his pass catcher? Took St. Brown like 8 weeks to really start breaking out. We're still waiting for Jamo. Like that's why I've said it so many times. Like wide receivers can't just sit in on Detroit. They can't just come in. Sam Laporta has proved me so wrong. Sam Laporta decided, hey, I can catch the ball. You throw me the ball, I will catch it. And not only that, lead the NFL in tight end broken tackles. Now I haven't checked that stat after this week, but I will be shocked if he was 3rd going into the week. If he is not leading the league in broken tackles for a tight end, I'll be shocked. And if he is, that's nuts. Sam Laporta is the real deal. Holyfield. Like I just Laporta. Like Brian Branch did great, right? That hit on Bijan, everyone, flag, fuck the flag. The way he took it too, he's like, good, I'm put the league on notice.
I don't think what fans are realizing with Laporta is he's a rookie going step for step with like not your Kelsey or Andrews, but like your Hawkinsons, your Kittles. And he has that Kelsey Andrews upside. We haven't quite seen it yet. We did see it a little bit. 84 yards, a touchdown. Honestly, that 8 catches, that is a pretty big game for a tight end. But I do think we could see a 3 touchdown, 80 yards, 9 catch type, like Travis Kelce performance. This dude has speed. He can block. He can catch. It's insane how good he is. And we've all heard, especially Nick as a fantasy analyst, the rookie tight end narrative. Oh, don't draft a rookie tight end. No, they don't play good until year 3, year 2, whatever. Laporta is shattering this. He's got like the most receptions by a rookie of all time through the first 3 games. He has a couple other NFL rookie stats for a tight end. He's just absolutely going off.
He is better than Travis Kelce right now. I'm not scared to say that. Let's look at the last 2 games when Kelce played. Kelce has 11 catches for,
or it's more or less
95 yards. 95 yards on 11 catches. That is under 9 yards a catch. Laporta's got 13 catches for 137 yards. Like he is, and 2 touchdowns compared to 1. Travis Kelce is not better than Sam Laporta right now. I don't care who you are.
Start the rumor Sam Laporta is dating Margot Robbie.
Yes. That is, wait, did you say someone should or someone did?
Someone should. Have you seen all those little
Honolulu Blues is about to do that. I'm about to post some funny ass.
You know that little meme I'm talking about where people are like breaking news, where they talk about their star players like Hutchinson seen with Margot Robbie per team. It's like, no, he's not.
I'm absolutely posting that.
Well, obviously Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift is a real thing and why it pertains, but obviously
the least interesting thing I've ever heard on NFL Network for more than a week now, and I cannot believe it's still going. I cannot believe it, dude. GMFB is doing segments about it.
You know what's interesting? Kelce is playing with fire, like lots and lots of fire. If he does anything stupid to Taylor Swift, that's the biggest distraction you could give your team. If he doesn't do anything stupid and Taylor Swift starts coming to every single game, that's the biggest distraction you could give your team. So honestly, the Chiefs right now, I almost feel like Mahomes is like, what are you doing, dude? This is the season. We're season time. Cut this shit off.
They do kind of seem like the Chiefs are making it more about like the entertainment lately than it is like the game, but they're still winning. So who am I to say?
Yeah, they still are champs. So
we've had some famous dudes out. With the Detroiters, they've been out to each game. It seems like they're great. Yeah, we love that.
Did you see that Bijan?
Yeah,
that video of the Lions posted.
So. What does he say?
So
I don't think so. That was funny. I love those guys. Yeah. That was great. Keep the star power coming too. Alice Cooper, Eminem, Jack White. I don't know. Whoever wants to come to the Lions games, that'd be great, dude. That'd be great. Margot Robbie for Sam Laporta.
Hey. Open invite.
Just put the ball in her court. It seems to work, I guess. I don't know. Right.
So another rookie who stepped up, Jack Campbell. And ironically, I texted in the group chat right before he got his sack. Where's Jack Campbell been? And then all of a sudden, boom, he makes a nice play, good contain, gets a sack, and finished the day with 6 tackles, 3 solos, and 1 sack. He also had a QB hit as well on top of that. And he also had, Nick, I don't know if you caught this, a nice little welcome to the NFL, buddy, moment where he lined up on the wrong side, and Aiden Hutchinson straight up is like, buddy, no, over there. Throws him the other side, and Campbell gets back into position. And that was just a nice little, like, Hutchins, he's learned. I like that.
It is great. It's also, I did see that. I didn't see it live. Again, I was golfing yesterday, but I saw the highlight of that play specifically, and I loved. One of the weird takeaways that I had about that was I love that Jack Campbell just was like, oh, yeah, sorry, boss. It's Aiden's team, dude. Aiden, like, if Aiden yells at you and throws you somewhere, you just go be like, yes, sir, my fault, my apologies. Like, so I love that Campbell did that. Also, I'm going to have a little spicy of a take for Campbell. We don't need him to play that much. I think when we drafted him, we were looking at it like we got Rodriguez, Anzalone, Barnes, and Germ, and like our linebacking core is kind of not good right now, right? They are just not great. Who knew that Derek Barnes was going to be our best linebacker? Who knew that Alex Anzalone was going to become a freaking Pro Bowler? Like, who knew? Like I know Rodriguez didn't play that well and kind of hasn't played that well over the last couple of games, which stinks to see because we love the kid. But realistically, if those guys, if Barnes and Anzalone stay healthy and want to be just immaculate like they are, I know we spent this first round pick on Campbell, but again, this is a Lions win. This is a Lions team. We don't have to play our first round pick all the time if we don't need to. Let them learn. It's a hard position. Linebacker is the hardest position to learn, I think, on the defense. So I don't know if it's spicy or not, but I'm okay with Campbell just getting a few plays here and there and doing well, hopefully, when he's out there.
I kind of agree. I think Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, everyone, Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson, all the coordinators did not expect Derek Barnes to not just take a next step, but a next leap. He has looked so much better, looking exactly like what we thought we would have gotten right out the get-go. But no problem having it take a little time. At least we have it, see it. And Dan Campbell, I'm sure, is thinking, dude, why didn't you tell me you'd be taking this next leap? Because we could have maybe went a different route.
We all love Campbell, but I mean, yes, maybe trade up to get Christian Gonzalez or something. I don't know. I know. But I love Gibbs and I love Campbell, so I have no regrets on our draft picks.
No, where are you stopping us?
Wait, what?
2 years from actually halfway through next season, Rodgers just doesn't come back, retires. The Jets are just a dumpster fire. Are saying we're going to try Zach Wilson one more year, something blasphemous, crazy. And Sauce Gardner just starts saying he's disappointed, not wanting to be around the team. Lions say, you come on back home. Take a couple of these first-round draft picks that we aren't always the best at, but you come on back. And boy, that'd be a cool move.
We've talked about this, didn't we? I think we talked about this a couple episodes ago. And I am all right with trading away our first-round picks moving forward for veterans that know how to win. I'm all right with that. Not even veterans.
Insane what Brad Holmes could do in these late rounds. Like Brian Branch, if you did a NFL draft redraft, this dude's probably like top 15.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, but let's talk about the man who's taken a nice second-year step, had his true coming out party to the casuals, because us NFL deep divers know that Hutch has been a pressure monster, but just almost getting to the quarterback, wreaking havoc, just didn't have any help. Well, yesterday, he got some help. He had help from five other guys. 6 guys had sacks, 7 total sacks. Hutch, the only one with 2 sacks, had a forced fumble recovery, and 2 pass deflections. I do think Hutch is starting to turn into a guy that just dominates the bad teams. And when he plays a good team, if he has some help, he's going to cause some problems. And that's all the Lions need to give him, is just a little bit of help for, this Ravens game, Chargers, even Packers.
Yes, we as a society and as fans have grown to this sacks only. That tells such a small story, dude. Like, pressures are so much more important than sacks. And yeah, he wasn't getting home. Nick Bosa also has 1 sack this year and got it for the first time week 3 on Thursday. Hutchinson has 2 sacks after 3 weeks. He had 3 sacks after 3 weeks last year. Like, sacks don't matter. The dude is getting home. And you know what he's also doing? Not going for every single sack every time, and also containing and holding his spot. And there's a reason why our rush defense is better than anyone else's run defense in the entire NFL. I don't know what the stats are, but we have to be in the top 5. And from the eye test, we're better than anyone at run defense. It's been since week 9 last year, excluding Carolina, that a running back has totaled over 81 yards on us. Hutchinson is elite. He is elite. He is, outside of Nick Bosa, he's the best edge rusher in the NFC, and behind TJ Watt, I would say the best, like top 3 in the NFL. There isn't anyone better. He got snubbed out of the Rookie of the Year because he plays for Detroit and Sauce Gardner plays for New York. We see Sauce Gardner getting exposed this year. We do not see Hutch getting exposed. Just because he didn't have any sacks in the first 2 games means shit. What did we predict his over-unders? Like, I think we had over-under sacks at 12.5, and I think we all took over 13.5. I'm still super confident in that. There is no doubt in my mind he does not get that this year.
Not to mention, real quick, Nick, if Hutch replays the Kansas City game, they have flagged Juwan Taylor probably 8 times in these last 2 games.
Have they really?
Yes, the league took notice and was like, you can't be doing this. Maybe once or twice, but not every single play. And he has still been trying it every single play. And that's literally what would have happened if the refs just realized what was going on. I think they just honestly just didn't know, or were trying to give
they knew, they realized, and they just didn't care. I think they were trying to give
the benefit of the doubt, and now that Goodell and the rest of the league is on notice, they're like, okay, well, we can't do that anymore. So, yes, if Hutch was causing I think he committed 4 penalties in week 2, which was the week right after, which was hilarious. If Hutch causes that, that's just as good as 2 sacks, 20 yards total. And that's what I think he will start to do. I don't know if you saw the clip. This was awesome. Myles Garrett. The Titans were so afraid of him. They had 2 fullbacks, 2 tight ends, 2 blockers shadowing him left and right, following him back and forth. So he took notice and said, all right, I'm just going to keep going back and forth, allow you guys to keep following me. And the clock ran out, 5-yard penalty, delay game. And that is what Hutch is going to be. That is how dominant he will be.
Yeah, it's incredible what we've done with our defensive line, with the names that we have, in my opinion. I just think it is. I think guys like Benito Jones and Isaiah Buggs and Josh Paschal and Charles Harris, who was a cast-off, and John Kaminsky, who was a cast-off, Aleem McNeil, our favorite. Like, these are not household names outside of Hutch, and yet we are.
You know what's crazy? Kaminsky had a really quiet game. He had 1 quarterback hit and 1 tackle.
I was really expecting a bigger game out of him, but he did his job. He did his job.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's the one who said after the game that the fans did what did he say? Said something like, the fans did everything they could. They deserved this. And I was like, yeah, I did do everything that I could. I was at golfing, but I just assume everyone at home on their couch did everything they could to help the Lions win. We are a part of this team, goddammit. We're a show by the fans, for the fans, and the fans matter. So let's go, fans. Keep up that PFF grade.
And then finally, our sun god, with a freaking metal plate in his shoe, dealing with toe issues, says, no, I'm fine. 9 catches, 102 yards.
The best
12
catch
targets.
I may have seen out of St. Brown, too. One of the most amazing diving catches I've ever seen. So way to go, ASB.
He can make those. He knows how to make a good diving catch. I've seen him do it a lot. Not like that, but a lot where he's just like sliding, almost looking like an outfielder, like catching the ball, sliding into it. But yes, Amon-Ra looked phenomenal. And then finally, we're going to jump back to the defense. We shut down Atlanta on all facets, passing, running. They're a big tight end in Kyle Pitts, who a lot of people said, no, start Kyle Pitts. The Lions have been atrocious against tight ends. Look at Noah Fant. He was terrible. Oh, look at backup Kelsey boy, Blake Bell. He scored a touchdown. Start their tight ends. What did Kyle Pitts do? 9 targets, 5 catches, 41 yards. So
don't remind me.
Enjoy your tight end 22.
We got 4 minutes left there. 3 minutes left before I got to log off. Let's close this show out on some good notes real quick.
That's a lot of good notes, Nick. I guess I will say the other funny part was the Lions did, for once, get a decent call in the end zone. Jesse Bates committed a little ticky-tack penalty where it was kind of silly, and I was laughing because he was complaining, getting so pissed off, and I was like, man, this is deja vu. I'm used to seeing Lions guys do that, so it's nice to see the turning of the tide.
Yes, always is. Yes, but still, fuck the refs. Always, we hate them.
Of course. This Thursday we are on to the Packers. I don't know Julius's schedule yet, but we will likely have some sort of Sunday morning episode.
Sunday morning, because without the Lions being there, maybe we'll. Maybe right. Maybe it'll be like Thursday before the game. We'll do something
interesting.
Yeah, we'll figure that out though.
We will
stay tuned.
If TBD, not,
follow us on social media so you know when we are doing this.
If not, Nick, we'll have to loop it back around. Or if you and Julius or me or Julius, we'll figure out something. We'll put out a Packers preview because we cannot miss this Thursday night breakdown. And don't forget to go get your Prime memberships because we're on Amazon Prime. The only downfall. But I will say we're going to get to see the Lions on that Prime Vision, which we didn't get to see on either of the first Thursday night football game because it was considered a Sunday night NBC game. Right. And now this game is on Prime, and we'll get to see they show all those little graphic stats, routes ran. It's pretty cool. So if people know what I'm talking about.
Kirk Herbstreit and Al Michaels calling the game, which is a great combo in my opinion.
Yes. But as always, check us out on Twitter, Honolulu Blues _ that reminds me, I will have to get out our giveaway tweets going. Last week, I busted. I thought Josh Reynolds would have the mojo again. Honestly, I think I got to go back to Sam Laporta. He seems like he's got some hot stuff. Maybe I'll do a first touchdown score. We'll see. There will be a tweet posted, so keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, it seems like anyone we do that for does not have a good game, so let's not be the curse. Let's try to be like a 1 touchdown for some random off guy. You know what I mean? Where if he doesn't have a good game, I'll be like, all right, Bam Knight didn't score a touchdown. All right, but if he did, hey, you get a jersey kind of thing, We aren't cursing anyone.
We'll do something like that.
TBD.
Check me out on Twitter at EverydayFFB and check Nick out on Twitter at Nick Faber NFL. And I know Julius isn't here, but give him a follow at the Fifth Top. He's always got some good tweets going. And as always, boys and gals, go Lions. And keep your eyes peeled. We will be back in some form to do a Lions-Packers preview because I totally forgot that we were playing Thursday football, even though I was talking about this whole episode. So go Lions.
Yes, if you want to know our